and will scout a surprising squad of Golden Gophers, Michigan's next opponent. All that and more coming up next.
Guys, you Frenchmen, you listen to me. You listen to me. Some of you sophomores. That, gentlemen, is Michigan football. Yeah!
And obviously, Michigan football is a 22-17 victory over Illinois. Who says you're not an emotional kind of get-after-'em guy?
Well, you can sometimes, Jim, when you feel like that. That was the first time, I think, that our kids really felt really good about themselves.
Well, it was a big win in a big game, which you had talked about that you hadn't gotten before. And this year, you needed a big win in a big game. It was important for you personally. It was important for the team.
Well, it helps everybody's confidence. And, you know, I wanted it most of all for the team because it brings us together, because our kids have been excellent. We've had some tough luck. Things have gone against us. We haven't made some breaks that we should have made probably, but our kids have hung in there very well. And it shows, again, I think, the quality of the kids. But, you know, we got a couple more to go that are pretty important, Jim.
Good, solid Michigan football. This is the way to open a game, huh?
Right. Long drive, 15-play drive, eat up about 7 minutes on the clock, and John Vaughn running here. Then we come back, and Bunch had a big day, and I was so happy to see that because a lot of times you get defenses, Jim, where you can't get your fullback the ball. But right here you can see he was ready to play.
And he blocked well. Not only did he run well, but boy, he blocked well.
Had a good game. He did everything he had to do, and obviously it really helped in the victory when you can punch him inside, so to speak.
John Vaughn gets it down in close. But again, you stall on the goal line, have to settle for field goal.
Yeah, we had to go to, you know, we thought we had some good things down on the goal line, and that's basically in my department, and I have to get that corrected. But we had some plays. We missed a couple blocks that really hurt us.
3rd and 9 now. This is a big key for your defense to do, because this is what hurt you before.
Right, this is zone defense. Everybody talks about why you play zone. I think when kids get breaks on balls like that, and Trip Wellborn the last couple games, Jim, is really playing like he's capable of playing and helping us.
Into the second quarter. That stopped Illinois, by the way, from a first down. Into the second quarter, used your tight end a little bit.
Yeah, we had Dave. It was a different kind of defense, and again, you got to take what's open to you. But D-Bolt had about 3 catches in there.
Oh, look at the quick feet on this guy.
Right. Elvis was, I think he's quite proud of this run. He did a good job with it. You know, there's a couple times we've been talking about how you move up, and then when you see things, you have to have the ability to
You're not going to let him do it too often, though, are you?
No. He runs a little like you do, Jim.
Oh, that bad, huh?
There's a bad break for us. We got down in there in a position to score again, and they ran a blitz through and hit Bunch just as he was receiving the handoff from Elvis, and that took a little out of us. That's our only turnover in the last 2 games.
They come back and they start going to the air. You basically effectively took the run away from them.
Yeah, I think they only had like 29 yards or so, and we did a good job there with the running game. Here's a play where they snapped it on quick before we were ready to go, and Trip Wellborn makes a big tackle there, save him for a touchdown, and then we force him to kick a field goal here. Good rush here by Simpson, Evans, those guys coming through. I thought we had more pressure up front defensively, and then they kick a field goal to tie it up.
Tied it up at 3-3 in the second quarter, and nobody expected it to be this big a defensive struggle because both teams moved the ball a little bit, just couldn't get in.
Right, and when we're on, I think we got a chance to have a good defense. There's Elvis hitting Desmond with a big 19-yarder there, and here's Elvis again stepping up in the pocket, hitting Yale Van Dyne for a big first down there.
You needed these big first downs, and you've been working on the 3rd down conversions, and they're starting to come around.
Right. I think we're getting a little bit better, and that's the toughest thing to do. Here's Ricky Powers making a nice run up inside for about, I think, about 20 yards or so.
Still can't get in and forced to kick.
No, 5 field goals. I was happy for J.D. that he hit them, and he had some tough. You know, every one of those are important. They're all like sinking a 2-foot putt. You got to be able to stroke each one of them, and our snapping and things was better this week, too.
P.J. Osmond with a sack. Boy, pressure on the quarterback, so key.
No question. It really helped us in that situation, and it keeps them shook up a little bit. Here John Vaughn goes for about a 9-yard run right before half after we got him stopped with that sack.
Just before the half, and then you go to a 51-yarder, and this is a beauty.
Yeah, I mean, J.D. didn't hit it real good, but he hit it enough. He had a little wind behind him. hit the crossbar and bounces through. So that's a big one right there.
You were saying you practiced that quite a bit during practice.
We work on it, yeah, bouncing it through, yes.
Yeah, you and Willie Mosconi, the pool good guys, right?
Exactly.
Leading 9-3 with that happening before half, you had to feel pretty positive, especially the way the defense was playing.
Well, that's the key. And part of that, Jim, is you go right back to it, and the honest truth is you got some veteran players back in there to help your defense. Gives you a little more of an emotional lift when you got guys making plays. But that field goal that J.D. hits there really gives us a little emotion going in at halftime and pumps everybody up.
It got Michigan ready to go after him in the second half. We'll be back with the highlights of Michigan's victory over Illinois in the second half. But first, we hear from one of the defensive standouts in the Illinois victory.
You know, Coach Carr talked today that we wanted to play with a lot of emotion and enthusiasm, and we went out there and made some big plays, and we were excited.
How far do you think it just, you know, wasn't there? So I was glad something lucky happened, like a 51-yarder, and get me going.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, J.D., and he was good and lucky on Saturday against the Illini.
Yeah, I think he got some rhythm. And, you know, no, Jim, it may help. You know that Steve Everett was doing the snapping today, and he likes Steve snapping because they've been working together for so long, and that may have had a little bit to do with it.
Going in at half, the offenses, neither of them were really getting anything done. Did you make any adjustments offensively as you came out the second half?
Well, we made a few things that we had to do, but we basically stayed with the same game plan. The thing is, we weren't putting the ball in the end zone. We were moving it well, wasn't putting it in. There's Osmond with a big, big sack. That's a way to start a second half.
Right. Their first possession of the third quarter, and that's big. And then look at this. You get a big play from special teams again.
This is Tripp making a nice run, obviously, but as you see there, he never gets touched, and we get a 53-yarder right there. That really helped.
But again, you get down close to the goal line, and you use the pass down there, which you hadn't done earlier.
Yeah, we worked it down in here to Derek, and we got down first and goal on the 4. And then we come up and we tried a bootleg pass. It didn't work. We ran for a couple, then we got stuffed and had to settle for a field goal.
A couple of times there were people thinking maybe you might go for it. You never really thought about it, did you?
Not as you keep adding up the points and you're thinking what they have to do in order to get back in the thing. Here, Veda Murray, you know, we're blitzing there. They pick up the blitz, but we got some good man coverage, and that's another thing that we need to do is get the good man coverage. Then on 4th and 5, their defense presents a situation where we can short snap to Eric Anderson on a punt, which really helped out there. That's, again, time possession.
That was a big gamble. How long did you think about that one?
Well, you know, the kids were talking about it, and Coach Herman, who runs our special teams, had pointed out at halftime was something we thought we could take advantage of.
And then Ricky Powers goes to work, your freshman star running back.
Yeah, he had some good runs in there, and here he's a strong kid bouncing off, and he just needs that good old seasoning and get some veteran work in there, and I think he's doing a good job. He's a great kid that I think we'll see a lot of in the future.
And now you do stick it in the end zone.
Right. Here's Ricky again. We changed formations a little bit, and he went in, and of course he has to feel great at this time, which we all do.
Yeah, right. 19-3 looks safe, but then in the fourth quarter, here come the Illini.
Yeah, here they're scrambling around, looking around. David Key's got great coverage here, and their receiver just stepped right in front of him and caught the ball. And it's one of those things you hate to see happen, and really our defense is playing so well to give up a play like that.
Now you get, again, special teams. Your kickoff punt return teams have been absolutely spectacular.
They've been good. The people returning them are doing a good job, and of course the guys blocking have to receive a lot of the credit, and we're taking a lot of pride in it, and it's something we have to really work on because we're decent at it.
On first down, after that return, you come and go to the bomb. Was that anticipated?
Yeah, we got the wind, and we thought we could get, you know, hit a couple bombs. They played a safer coverage than what we thought, but Elvis laid it up there, and Derek went up. Alexander made a great catch, and again, the sad part is we're settling for a field goal. Now, 3 is better than nothing, but if we'd had a couple touchdowns there, the score obviously has been a lot different.
22-10, though, you know, you feel somewhat safe in a sense, but then Illinois starts to move the ball, and you got to be worried a little bit.
Exactly. You know, they've had good offense before, and they score on a lot of people. And here they cut us on that one long pass. Now here's a trick play that they execute well. They throw a backward pass to the wide receiver, and he throws it downfield to a wide open guy.
Had you seen that before, or is that the first time out for them?
That's the first time out for them. Those plays you only usually run one time a year, and this time they perfected it and paid off good for him. Fortunately for us, Desmond comes out here and breaks a nice kickoff return to give us some good field position. Coming out of the box, yeah, here, and then we get a holding call that I was a little upset with, but Ricky Powers goes for about 20, 25 yards here, and they called holding on Skripnik. And, you know, at looking at the film, you never know, but I didn't feel that that was a justified call.
That was a big, huge call because you were down there close, got a first down, and then they come back and start to make some things happen. You got to be saying, oh, no, not again.
Well, this is a drive that, you know, I didn't want to happen to Jim, obviously, but I really felt good here after our defense had been in this situation a lot, and Veda picks this pass off. And you know, it gives us a little confidence. It gives us something to play with. In a way, it was right that our defense would play good right at the end, just the way they started off. Then we have a big drive here, Jim. Our first and last drive were great ones. Coming off the 1-yard line and possessing the ball for some 6 to 7 minutes in here. Ricky's running well, and then we come back in here with Bunch, and Bunch rips off a 19-yarder. He was really running well, too. There's the kind of fullback you like to have.
This is Michigan football, right?
Yeah, this is the way it's supposed to be played.
And this is a big 3rd and 2. This closes it out.
Yeah, and Rick does a good job there going for the first down, getting it, then we just really drop on the football there. But you know, the greatest thing about that is when you look at the thing, you say, hey, we had the ball 40 minutes, they had it 20 minutes. Well, that's the difference. And now you don't give their offense a chance to score. If you keep giving them the ball back, they'll figure out a way to put it in the end zone.
Real big win, isn't it, Mo, for not you, you and the team against a very good Illinois football team.
Oh, there's no question about that, Jim. And, you know, it gets to me a little bit because people always say, well, it didn't have near the meaning because it wasn't for the Big Ten championship. And you know football, and you know playing games. I mean, you work all year to play games, and you play a game here. There. All of them are important. You want to win every one of them. And we're all sad that we let a couple slip away. But, you know, the kids haven't quit. The coaching staff hadn't quit. More excited about what we can do.
And the other thing to mention that maybe gotten away from some of the Michigan fans is on the back of every helmet is a 47. Tell us what that's about.
Well, today, because of Benny Oosterbaan, Jim, you know, and they had a thing today at the stadium for that. We had all our players wear his number on the back of the headgear in special recognition to him because he was such a great athlete at Michigan, played a number of sports, as many people know, then was an excellent coach as well. So we just wanted to be a part of it.
Well, I'm sure Benny is up in football's Valhalla as Bob Ufer and Fielding Yost and all the rest of them are. He sure appreciated it. Don't go away. We'll be back and we'll talk about some footwork. But first, let's hear from that big fullback that got the job done on Saturday against the Illini.
I think it's just getting older and knowing how to change a little bit of things. But I'm enjoying blocking now, and it's become a part of me, and running's starting to get a part of me, too. So I'm enjoying this year.
The Wolverine quarterbacks, and when he was coming up through the ranks, he found out something astounding about throwing a football.
Quarterback's got to play with his feet. And you know, what we've tried to do is take every situation a quarterback can have, and that's slide in the pocket, step up in the pocket, scramble, and what we've decided to do is we go out and we practice that every day because it's going to happen. You know, a quarterback has to have, you know, almost synchronized footwork that works with his receivers, and that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Some say this new technique is from the genius of ex-49ers coach Bill Walsh. But then again, Walsh had Joe Montana to work with. But according to Cameron, Montana's passing brilliance starts below the knees.
If you watch Joe Montana, his footwork is the most precise footwork of any quarterback in the NFL because he's probably got an average to below average arm. His feet are what allow him to be as good as he is.
Turning a youngster out of high school into Joe Montana is asking a lot. But with proper footwork, anything is possible. So Cameron went to work with the Wolverine quarterbacks early and has gotten some great results.
And this spring, what we did is we put in the 3, the 5, the 7-step drops. We use what we call a shuffle step and a slide step. And we went through some scrimmages, and when Elvis used the proper footwork, you know, he really had a lot of success. And when he didn't, when he went 5 when he should have been going 7, and 7 when he should have been going 5, or going here when he should have been going there, he wasn't very good. And it took about a week for him to really start to believe in it. And then he really just started to perfect it. And he's got a long way to go. But he's gotten a lot better. And I think all those kids believe in it.
The game's so much faster now that you've got to really have a lot of timing. And, you know, once you get used to that timing and that footwork, then you really, you know what kind of timing you have with the wide receivers, and it works so much better because half the time you don't even get touched from the defenders when you're on time. But when you're sitting back there waiting and waiting, that's when a lot of pressure comes up in your face. The building block of an arm contains with your feet, and once your feet are set, then everything else, your hips come in, and then the arm comes over the top. And then, yeah, that's the building block is your legs.
Yeah, I think a guy's got to have a firm arm, but I don't think he has to have a gun to be a great quarterback. He just got to be able to throw it firm, and with some footwork and some brains, I think he can, you know, he can be a heck of a quarterback, especially in our system.
Well, it's a whole lot different, isn't it, coaching quarterbacks these days than it was maybe 10 years ago, huh?
There's no question about it, and as Cam indicates there, and he's brought a lot of this with him. You know, you talk about Bill Walsh, but he played for Sam Weish, and they're all related. You know, Sam coached for Bill, so, you know, we believe in your feet tell you when to throw the football, and that's the reason for all the drills. And there's many times this year in the games Elvis has gone too many steps, but there's a number of times he's gone the right step. And when you get on a rhythm, everything seems to click. But that receiver has to be taking the proper number of steps as well, Jim. So it's a hard skill to develop, and we're getting a little better at it.
It's teamwork, there's no question. And you can honor the Michigan football team.
Coming into quality of the kids, but, you know, we got a couple more to go that are pretty important, Jim.
Good, solid Michigan football. This is the way to open a game, huh?
Right. Long drive, 15-play drive, eat up about 7 minutes on the clock, and John Vaughn running here. Then we come back, and Bunch had a big day, and I was so happy to see that because a lot of times you get defenses, Jim, where you can't get your fullback the ball. But right here you can see he was...
And will scout a surprising squad of Golden Gophers, Michigan's next opponent. All that and more coming up next.
Guys, you Frenchmen, you listen to me. You listen to me. Some of you Southmores. That, gentlemen, is Michigan football.
And obviously, Michigan football is a 22-17 victory over Illinois. Who says you're not an emotional kind of get-after-'em guy?
Well, you can sometimes, Jim, when you feel like that. That was the first time, I think, that our kids really felt really good about themselves.
Well, it was a big win in a big game, which you had talked about that you hadn't gotten before. And
he was ready to play.
And he blocked well. Not only did he run well, but boy, he blocked well.
Had a good game. He did everything he had to do, and obviously it really helped in the victory when you can punch him inside, so to speak.
John Vaughn gets it down in close. But again, you stall on the goal line, have to settle for field goal.
Yeah, we had to go to, you know, we thought we had some good things down there on the goal line, and that's basically.
And this year, you needed a big win in a big game. It was important for you personally. It was important for the team.
Well, it helps everybody's confidence, and, you know, I wanted it most of all for the team because it brings us together, because our kids have been excellent. We've had some tough luck. Things have gone against us. We haven't made some breaks that we should have made probably, but our kids have hung in there very well. And it shows, again, I think, the